Hi everyone, our journal page today, and I've started creating another journal from watercolor paper that I have from this pad. All I've done is take the papers. They are size A3. A3 is 2, A4. A4 is a printer paper, so that's the size A3, and I just folded them in half, and I'm planning to glue them back to back and then create an art journal. So because I haven't glued them yet, I'm going to just work on one of them like this, open, and later on I will just adhere it to the rest. So I've picked two colors and I'm just going to spread them on the page. This is just these are very runny acrylic paints. I don't care. This is just kind of a hue of color that is going to be in the background, so I really don't care. This is something from the cheap store, and it's really awful quality, but for what I'm planning to do, I really don't care. As you see, I'm just spreading it around. I'm using a baby wipe. It just helps spread it. And I'm not too particular about how it turns out. Again, this is just going to give some kind of a hue in the background. And this is clogged. So let's see. Yeah, really watery. Doesn't matter. And you can use any acrylic that you want. It really is just to put something in the background. I'm also a little bit overlapping, so I get in between these two colors. Most of the time when I'm using this technique, I will use neon colors, because they really work well when you want some light in the background. So this is it, nothing to it, very easy. Let me just clean a little bit of the mess that I've done all around before it dries. I'm just an expert at making messes. Okay, mostly. So now for this needs to be dry, and now I'm reaching for the color that I want on top, and I want some dark blue, and I want some, I think, a lighter blue, and some kind of dark magenta, I think. Yeah, I'm going for a kind of a dark background, and as I said, this is just to have some light in the background picking out. So I'm just going to use my heat tool quite quickly. If you don't like the sound, just mute me for a few seconds. Okay, good enough. So let's take some paint. Okay, these are a little bit more thick. I'm gonna start first. No, I'll put everything on here on the palette, which is just a glossy page from a brochure. Okay, I think I'm going to use a sponge. I'm just gonna tear. When you tear, you get irregular ending to your sponge, and you've got more interesting outlook, or more texture or visual texture for that matter on your page. Let's be a little bit more less messy. Okay, I'm starting with the blue, and if you are not sure, start lightly and build up. Now the sponge will take a lot of paint, so you will have to load it quite a lot of times. I'll already put more here. Okay, so continuing with the darkest blue, I'm trying to have the edges completely dark and towards the inside less condensed sponging. That's what I can say right now. Moving to the next color, overlapping and also getting inside a little bit the dark blue where I think it's needed. I'm going to go back and forth with all the colors until I get the result that I want. When I have less and less paint on my sponge, I'm going up and also inside here. By using several colors, you get a more interesting result, even if in the video you can't really see the difference between the two blues. It is here and it makes a difference. Now I have less paint, so I will just go here and tap a little bit. Moving on to this dark magenta or whatever, I don't know what to call it, crimson. Okay, I'm just trying to spare my mat. Again, trying to be darker on the edges, and because I didn't clean the sponge or change it to another piece, I still have a leftover from the blue, so I'm getting a dark purple, which is great because now it's just the edges. And again, when I have less paint, I'm just going in and tapping randomly now. Coverage is as much as you want. You want a lot of the background of the hue picking out, go for it. You want less, go for that. Just start lightly and build up. So You can see and you can stop whenever you feel that's enough. Now I'm going with this. Again, I'm going inside here. Don't know how much of it you can see, but it is here, and there is hints of it in between the blue. I'm doing it quite lightly and randomly putting it on the areas where I've got the blue. And if I feel that I have too much of the yellow picking up, then I'm going to go in and just cover wherever I want to. Okay, so I've got this. Now what I want to do, I want some splattering in the background. I've got this white acrylic paint which was going to end. There was not enough acrylic paint in here, so what I've done is I've added a little bit of water. So now I have a watery acrylic paint, so I can do splattering. I'm putting this here, and I need a fan brush. I'm not gentle with it. Of course, up to you. I remember someone telling me that he doesn't like splatter, so if you don't like splatter, don't do splatter. I just like it, and once again, I'm wasting paint on myself. Adding just a little bit of water. Whenever you've got an acrylic paint that is about to end and not enough paint in it, you can always just add some water and you will have it ready made for some splattering, especially if you want to do it on some painty paper, collage paper. So here it goes. So this needs to be dry completely before I attempt anything on top of it, so I'll be back. Okay, so all dry, and here is what prompted this page. Another thing that I started to organize in my stashes, and I looked at these feathers, and suddenly they look to me like a really nice flowers or leaves. So I started picturing them in some kind of a background. So that's what I'm going to do with them. And as you can see, I've got all kinds of pastel colors. I'm losing my words today, don't know what's going on. So I don't want the pink ones, but I don't know, maybe I'm leaving here some of the purple ones and light blue, light green. I have more also white and more light green, I don't know, and we'll see. So if you don't have feathers, it doesn't have to be feathers. You can stencil flowers, you can stencil leaves, you can make your own, you can freehand draw anything you want. But if you are really wanting to do something like this, I'm going to show you quite quickly and easily how you can make your own feathers. And I just took 2 painty papers, and what I'm going to do is show you, first of all, there is, for lack of a word, I'm calling it the spine. This is the spine of the feather, and I'm going to show there are all kinds of feathers. There are some that look like this, okay? There are some that will look like this, which is more like what I've got here. Of course, you can play with the size. And all kinds of, now each of these can stay like that, or you can go and do again this and just take a little bit out of them when you're going to cut. Now it doesn't look much right now, but I'm going to show you how lovely it can be once it's cut out. And of course, as you can see, I just made here, let's say, the stem or what's holding this leaf shape a little bit wider. And you don't need to be too fussy about your fussy cutting. Just cut as you go. Now I'm just taking out the general shape, and as I said, I'm not too fussy about it. Okay, so I've got the general shape, and now I'm just taking this little, I don't know what to call them, triangles, whatever, out of the shape. And I'm doing it quite randomly. I'm not looking for symmetry. Most of the time there isn't going to be symmetry. So here we go. It just the basic shape of a feather. Now you can leave it as is. You can go in and make like this the spine. Now I like wobbly lines, so that's what I will go with, but you can do you. Not trying to be precise. I like it like this. You can ink around the edges if that's what you want. Okay, and still I can leave it as is, or I can decide that I want a little bit of lines. And even after that, if you still want a more look-alike feather, then you can take, and I'm using nail scissors, and I can go in almost to the spine and do very thin cuts like this, and you will get a more authentic look of a feather. That's the best explanation I can give. Here we go. I'm just doing one side so you will see how it looks. Again, I'm just eyeballing it. It really doesn't matter, at least to me it doesn't. Okay, here is the feather, and I can also leave it like this, or I can go and do the other side. Again, up to you and how you like the feathers to be. The same goes for this shape, if that's the shape that you want your feather to be. So let's start by just placing the feathers. Now I'm thinking of using the purple ones in the back, and it would be like this would be the first layer. And then on the what you call it, foreground, for that matter, I don't have a better word, the foreground will be with more white and this color. That's what I'm thinking right now. So I'm just playing with the placement, and I'm also looking to overlap, because when you're overlapping it looks more organic, more real. I don't know if they call it realistic, because this is definitely not realistic. Feathers as leaves or as some kind of a flower, definitely not realistic. So yeah, I think this is nice. So I'm going to put just a drop of silicone glue on each feather, and not all of it, just at the bottom. I'm using the silicone glue just because it's fast. Oh, here is another one behind the bigger one. It's fast and it's strong, and that's it. And I don't want to wait now for white glue to oops. No exhaling. Oh my god. No sneezing, no exhaling. No nothing. Okay, gone is the placement. Whatever, I'm just gonna glue it as I go, and that's it. Don't breathe. Okay. So I'm going to glue all this, then I'm going to do some stems, and then I'm going to start building my foreground. That's the plan, at least. I'm trying to mix the heights of each feather, so there will be something interesting going on. Shall I use the pink? I'm gonna use the pink. I'll be brave. I'll use the pink. Okay, one here. If you've got skeleton leaves, it's also an option to use. And of course, any other thing that you have. Okay, I still have two purple ones. Maybe I will save them for later. Okay, so I've got this silver acrylic marker, and I'm thinking of using this. We'll see how it goes. And I'm just going to draw some stems. Now I didn't quite plan all of it. I knew I wanted a dark background, so the feathers will stand out on it, but otherwise there wasn't a lot of planning going into this page. And now that I'm thinking about it, I have a fold here. Don't know how this feather will survive the fold, but okay, I'm leaving it for now. This marker is just from the cheap store, so I can't give you any kind of brand. And okay, so that's the start. Now I'm going for more feathers. And I'm thinking, let's just put some here. And okay, I'm just gonna start gluing. No planning, that's it. I'm not planning, I'm gluing. Yeah, one here. I'm going to use the purple ones that were left from before. I'm just right now picking white. Here one. I thought about planning the placement, but then, as you know me, what's the worst that could happen? And I'm just having fun with it, and whatever will be, will be. For me, just the fact that I executed this crazy idea to use the feathers, oopsie, as some kind of flowers, that's enough for me, and plant some kind of a background. So for me it's a win just by that. Okay, let's see. Before I forget, this Thursday there isn't going to be a live. Sadly, I've got another engagement, but there will be a video. I will make a video and I will upload it. So there will be a video. Okay, let's put one here, and let's take this crooked one, which is fun. Here, and just making some stems. Now here I need to be a little bit careful. I'm kind of liking this wild thing I've done here. I still think I want some embellishment to each stem, maybe a swirly thing, I don't know. And now I'm thinking that just maybe, yeah, why not? I'm using this peach color, very light peach color here, and just a nice color. Oh, I've got more. Didn't see it. Okay. Let's go here. And I'm thinking of doing some, adding some color to at the base of each flower for that matter. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Do I want more? Let's put another one. Whoopsie. I'm making a mess. Here is another one. Maybe I will add more white later on. More white feathers. Don't know yet. First I want to add some color to each feather, and I'm thinking going about it quite easily and just using plain felt pen, felt markers, whatever you want to call them. So let's see. Just at the bottom of each like this. I'm waiting here. There is still a wet glue underneath. Okay, these are, let's try. Oopsie, of course, don't have any patience to wait for the glue to dry. Next, let's take I'm just taking a color that will be a little bit or more than a little bit darker than the feather, just to add some more interest. I could probably, depending on the glue underneath, I could probably even touch it with a little bit of water and help it spread, but right now I don't want to to try something like that. And of course I could have taken either watercolors or watercolor pencils and added some, but as I said, I wanted to go the easy way, no waiting for drying. Okay, some of the glue is still wet, so it's giving me trouble. Here we go, another wet glue. But you get my drift, what I'm doing here. Okay. I know it's underneath. Oh, it's not glued. This one isn't glued down. So I'm going to just add here we go. And now, of course, just for the finishing touch, I managed to put some glue on my fingers. Way to go. Okay. Here it is. I haven't decided what color am I putting on the white ones. Not that it really matters, it's just a hint of color, but I still think it adds a little bit to the look of things. I still need for some of them to dry. Maybe, yeah. Okay, so now for the white ones, maybe let's go wild with the yellow. No, not this one. These are just cheap felt pens bought from the cheap store. No brand, no nothing. Okay, so that's nice. Really like it, as I said. Just some of them don't quite connect. Okay, so here we go. I just have to do something more. The stems as they are right now are boring to me, so I'm just adding this swirly, let's call it leaves, whatever. Okay. Again, I'm doing it quite randomly, just making sure I've got in all places so there won't be one line it's still wet, and I'm forgetting to work from left to right. So I'm getting my hand inside the wet paint each time. Now I'm really starting to like it. It's very simple and I really like it. I'm just wondering if I want to add another layer, but no. I think, yeah, this is it. Taking a step back to look at it and looking if I'm fine with it or if I want something more. I'm thinking just one here. A lot of space here, so let's see if I can find one, a small one. Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah. Should have remembered to put some paint here before I glued it. Never mind. Just touching it gently with a little bit of the yellow. Yeah, now I'm happy. That's it. So that's my page for today. Thank you for watching and thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.